Don't know me, it's Hey guys, welcome back. It's louiiV. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Louivannah, and today it is story time. I haven't said this story to like many people before, unless you're like really close to me or my family member, then obviously you would know this story, but I'll be explaining my kidnapping that almost happened when I was, how old was I when that happened? I was like 9. I was like 9, 8 or 9. And it wasn't, I think it was 8. I think it was 8. And it's actually one of the worst experiences. Honestly, it's not fun getting close, I can say, to getting kidnapped. It's not a great experience at all. I don't wish that upon anyone. But yeah, it happened, and so let's get right into it. So I was going to school that day. I usually, where I used to live in that neighborhood, there was kind of like, it was kind of like a semicircle, I can say. So right in front of us, it was a forest park. I don't really like calling it a park because there were no swings or slides or anything of that sort. It was only trees and a little path through all the trees. So I like to call it more of a forest, but it wasn't huge neither to be like, you know, I don't know, a forest, freaking tropical forest or something. It wasn't that neither. So what happened is I was going out the house, walking down the stairs, and I start walking towards the forest. And I walk along the forest. I don't go through the forest. I just walk along. Because on the other side, that's where my bus would come, the yellow bus. So I used to live, let's say this is like a semicircle. I used to live here. And I'd have to walk around the forest to go on the other side of the forest and catch the bus. So I got out the house. I started walking. And I saw someone walking right behind me all of a sudden. And the walk is really not that long. The walk is like, I can say 2 minutes, probably 3 minutes maybe. I was pretty small, so I didn't have like super long legs and super fast paced. So I can say maybe 3-4 minutes, but whatever. I saw someone behind me started to walk, and he had like, it was a guy. I turned around and he had a whole green suit. I remember correctly, a green jumpsuit that was on him, long sleeves, and he had huge pockets in his jumpsuit, kind of jumpsuit that you would picture in like movies for a guy who works as like, you know, people picking up garbage, and like, you know, that kind of jumpsuit, I can say, that kind of green jumpsuit. So already he was sketchy and scary. Who goes for a walk in a green jumpsuit with huge pockets and he looks scary? Please. And then I turn around a little bit more, and further away there was a car with an open trunk. So that really freaked me out right away. I started pacing and walking faster. He started walking faster too to catch up to me. I turned around, I saw him getting closer. I didn't even wait a second. I started yelling from the top of my lungs. I was screaming for help. There was literally no cars outside. It was morning, like probably what, maybe 8 or like 7:50. So everyone's out at work or in school. Thank God my dad was home that day. He usually is never home that early, and that day he was home. Thank God. And he heard me while he was still in the house came out, saw me in the window, saw the guy stops walking. I have my school bag on the floor in the street, the middle of the street. I'm running like as if my life depended on it to go like on the other side because I didn't want to go back home since he was already, you know, at that like middle. So I'd obviously have to pass by him to go back home, so I wouldn't do that. And I was way too young to even think about, you know, defending or whatever. And my dad came out and he saw the guy and started saying like, why are you following her? Of course. And the guy says, well, I'm just taking my morning walk. I always do. But we live in the neighborhood, so we know who takes their morning walks. We see them all the time, and he's not one of them. And why would there randomly be that same day that you never walk a car not too far away with the trunk open? I mean, how much scarier can that be for a kid who's 8 years old, you know? So really not a cool adventure, but definitely something I'm never gonna forget, and something that really, you know, scarred me. So he ended up turning around when my dad came out. He ended up turning around and he went the other way, and I came back, took my school bag, and went to go catch the bus. Thank God my dad was there. I always say that because I probably wouldn't have been here today. I probably would have been kidnapped. I mean, who takes a morning walk pacing at the same pace as a little girl in front of you in a green jumpsuit? If I'm not mistaken, this is a long time ago, you know, so I can't remember every single detail, but I feel like I remember him having some type of like tool in his pockets that was sticking out that I could see, and it wasn't, you could tell that by the handle what type of tool it was. I feel like it was like, I don't know if it was a knife or scissors. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But because I kind of forgot. But he did turn around, go back. I took my school bag, went to go catch the bus, went to school. Thank God. It never happened again. He never walked by again. He was never there. A few weeks later, actually, we did hear a kidnapping. And it wasn't necessarily near where I live, but it was near the neighborhood, like the district, I guess I can say. So who knows, you know, who knows? And then I also had another event where I almost got kidnapped too, but I was like way older back then. How old was I? I was like 18, maybe 17. I was probably 17. And I was taking the bus. I got off the bus, the city bus this time, and this random guy in a van stops, looks at me while I'm talking on the phone like an idiot. I was talking on the phone. He stops. He asks me, hey, I know your parents. And then I'm like, okay, like, why am I supposed to care about that? And then he says, well, since I know your parents, you know, you can come in. I know where you live. I can just give you a lift, you know? I'm like, but who are you? And my mom was on the phone with me. So she's like, who is this guy telling you he knows us? I'm like, who are you? He never actually told me his name. But he did. He kept on going with his lies. He was like, yeah, don't worry. I know you. Just come in the car. Come in the back seat. Don't worry about it. I'll bring you home. I'm just like, no, I don't need a lift home. I'm gonna take the bus. I'm good to go. Thanks a lot. Goodbye. And I left. I had my mom on the phone, and I was 17, so I was not scared at all. It's still an event that, you know, kind of triggers those memories of when I was 8. But I had my mom. You know, I always have someone. I always have like a guardian there, you know, ready to save me in case. Thank God. But yeah, so that is the 2 kidnappings that I had to go through. One being awful, the second one being I was 17 and could clearly defend myself, not scared at all, just saying. Yeah, that was story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. I might be doing other story times to tell you guys about other events that happened in my life. So if you guys would like to know more, comment them down below, Instagram me them, and I will definitely be doing more story times like that. See you guys soon. Bye. Stay fierce.